A quick promotion here of Ayodhyecha Raja, which translates into English as the King of Ayodhya, was the first Marathi talkie picture. We're talking about another early piece of Indian cinema. This is from 1932, directed by Shantaram Rajaram Vankuje, aka V. Shantaram. He directed the feature 1959 feature Navrang, which I raved about earlier on this program, some months ago now actually. Apparently based on the mythological story of Raja Harishchandra of Ayodhya and his test by sage Vishwamitra, as recounted in Valmiki's epic Ramayana. Harishchandra is tested by the sage Vishwamitra and is based off of events recounted in Valmiki's epic poem Ramayana. There was a Hindi remake of this film released the same year, although this Hindi remake appears to be lost, or I certainly can't seem to access it on YouTube or any other source. India's first feature film, and a film that is unfortunately lost, titled Raja Harishchandra from 1913, is based off of this same storyline from the Ramayana. This would be the legendary director V. Shantaram's first foray into directing talkies. Naturally, as is expected of me, let's read out what IndianCine.me has to say. Shantaram's and Prabhat's first sound film may also have been the first Marathi talkie, although Sant Tukaram by Babuji Rain was censored 11 days earlier on the 26th of January 1932. A big-budget mythological, it tells the famous Ramayana tale. The truth-loving Harishchandra, Tembe, king of Ayodhya, is tested when the sage Vishwamitra challenges him to sacrifice his kingdom and offer alms of 1,000 coins earned through his own labour. After many hardships, Harishchandra, Taramati, Kot, and their son Rolishwara Digamba earn the money when the king and queen are sold as slaves in the city of Kashi. When the queen's new owner, Ganganath Pandhaka, tries to assault her, her son intervenes and is killed. Taramati is accused of the killing and is sentenced to be executed by her husband. The Kashi Vishveshwara deity intervenes, brings the boy back to life, declares the king to have proved himself, and returns him to his throne. Shantaram cast the untrained actress and singer Colt, when it was still controversial in Marathi theatre to use actresses. Shot on a elaborate plaster set designed by Fatalal, the film had some bravura shots like a burning forest and a tree falling to the ground, barely missing the hero. Despite its occasional miracle scenes in its stage-derived frontal compositions, there is an attempt at a realist idiom, especially in the scenes where the king and queen are shown trying to earn their money. Shantaram's characteristic use of extended pauses and elaborate gesture may here still be due to the technical limitations in the sound equipment. Damla was the sound man, although he later elaborated this acting style into an expressionist technique. Tembe sang most of the songs while Kot performed the hit Bala Ka Jop Yayina. Let's read what the same website, the same webpage specifically, has to say about V. Shantaram. Rajaram Vankuje Shantaram, 1901-90, Hindi and Marathi director, producer and actor, aka V. Shantaram, born in Kolhapur, worked in the railways as a teenager, apprenticed in Bal Gandharva's Gandharva Natak Mandali, 1914-15, where he was trained by people he later employed, e.g. Govindrao Tembe, the tabla master, Tirakwan, then odd job man at the local cinema, 1917, became assistant photographer, then joined painters Maharashtra Film, 1920, learning all production skills, including acting, Surekha Haran, Singahad, Savkari Pash, and eventually directing Netaji Palkar. Left together with Dama Fatilal, Keshav Rao Daiber, and S.B. Kulkarni to start Prabhat in Kolhapur, 1929, directing all the studio silent films. Released 3 sound films in 1932, launching Durga Kot, e.g. Ayodhyecha Raja. Established Prabhat Studio in Pune, 1933. Prabhat's films made him one of the most celebrated Indian directors of the 30s. The spectacular Amrit Manfan consecrated Shanta Apt as a major star. married one of his stars, Jayashree Shakuntala, and launched their daughter, Rajshri, in Jeet Gaya Pafaron. Later teamed up with the dancer and actress Sandhya Janak Payal Baj, chief producer of Government Film Advisory Board during World War II, producing documentaries, for example, Sanjeet Bharat, Song of Maharashtra, born both 1956, Important People, Magic Touch, and Symphony of Life, all 1957, established his own studio, Rajkamal Kalamandu, in Parel, Bombay, 1942, founded V. Shantaram Productions, 1962, published autobiography Shantarama, 1986, up to 1933, followed the painter mold of mythologicals and historicals, occasionally with political overtones, Ayodhyecha. After 1933, following a long visit to Germany's UAF studios, his films show the influence of the expressionist Kammerspiel film. Perceived by Shantaram himself as classical, the films arguably mobilized the 19th century German Orientalism to achieve a modernist return to classic Sanskrit Indian cultural values. His later Raj Kamal films ended up offering degraded versions of the classical arts. For example, India's first Technicolor film, the musical extravaganza Janak Payal Baj, later re-released in 70mm, or Jal bin Makli Nutya bin Jili. Earlier former socials, Kunku slash Dunia Na Main, were exemplary of the genre in pre-independence India and led to, for example, Dr. Cotton's Ki Amar Kahani, which pleased the British, the nationalists second, the communists all at the same time, and Do Anna Ken Barahaf. Loksa Shahir Ramjoshi, co-director painter, helped originate the Tamasha musical in Marathi cinema. His critical approach to feudal traditions in melodramas and socials, together with determined efforts to break into US and European markets, for example with Shankuntala, earned him the reputation of being influenced by foreign, Reed, German, and Hollywood elements. Many, including K. Abbas, regard Manus/Admi as his finest film. I think that's all we need for today. This is a very fine film. I especially enjoy some of the effects depicting the mythological being coming in at the end of the film to demonstrate the rewards for the protagonist's faith and devotion and conviction and will. Very, very interesting and strong film, in my opinion. V. Shantaram, also director of Navrang, clearly extremely talented film director. Thanks all. Have a great one.